Hey guys, the dude from Denmark here. Yesterday the full spoil list for Theros was spoiled, and today I wanted to talk about the deck ideas I have for Theros, and also wanted to hear your deck ideas. So let's jump right into it. I don't really find any of the mechanics in Theros really interesting other than the heroic mechanic, which I actually really like. I've always loved the whole that you can target a creature with a spell that when it gets targeted with a spell it will do something special. I've always loved cards like Wild Difference that do this stuff, so I definitely think that the heroic is a nice mechanic. A thing I also like about the heroic mechanic is that it's a really quick mechanic that's on a lot of creatures that don't really cost that much. When compared to Monstrosity and Bestow, this heroic mechanic is really awesome, especially since it's really cheap, which I really like. For the heroic mechanic I really want to do a white, black and blue heroic mechanic, since these three colors seems to have the most interesting heroic mechanics to me. The white creatures with heroic is really cheap and got some nice heroic abilities where they get 1/1 counters on them, and can also give them to any creature you control on the battlefield when you target with a spell. The black ones got some really nasty ones where they can lose 1 life, or you may destroy a target creature and so on, which is really awesome, I think, because heroic seems to be easy to get off with. The blue heroic creatures got some interesting too, where the most interesting is Artisan of Forms, which let you copy a target creature on the battlefield whenever you trigger the heroic mechanic, which I really love and would be interesting. Also, Artisan of Form can trigger when the heroic trigger. You can also let it become a copy of another heroic creature you control, which then means that it will have 2 heroic abilities, which is actually really interesting, I think. Every color in Theros have the heroic mechanic. I must admit that the green color isn't really that interesting, though the creatures that have heroic are more high costed, but can also be pumped a lot more than the white ones. The red heroic creatures is actually really nice, and I have also been thinking about putting red in instead of another color of these 3 colors that I want to put in, but I really want to have a white, black and blue. I also thought about making a white, black, blue and a red heroic deck, but that just seems really extreme. So maybe another thing would be to make 2 heroic decks. I don't know, but it seems like if you don't choose the red heroic creatures, you miss out on good heroic creatures too, but also good burn spells for the red color of Theros. A problem is if I don't choose the red red for heroic deck, I would miss out on Annex and Sumet, which is a really good heroic creature. But I do like the Battlewise Hoplite more, actually. You could also be smart to build a deck using a heroic deck using white, blue and red, and white, blue and red to get both these creatures in the deck. But as I said before, I really like to have white, blue and black, and I really like the Battlewise Hoplite, so I really don't mind not using Annex. If we look at things that can trigger the heroic ability in Theros, it seems like Wizard of the Coast want us to use the Bestow mechanic, and I really refuse to believe that we have to do this, because Bestow is just so high costed. I get that it's high costed because it's both an aura and an creature, so I guess it's fine that it's so high costed, but for the heroic trigger, it's just really not worth it, because it takes way too much time to do this. Since I want to do a black, blue and white heroic deck, I need to find some good cards that can trigger the heroic ability in these colors. A white one is called Dauntless Onslaught, which is an instant that costs you 3 mana to cast. Up to 2 target creature each gets +2/+2 until end of turn. This is of course really good and meant for the heroic ability. If you have more than two heroic creatures out on the battlefield, this is really nice, since you now can target 2 heroic creatures and let something happen instead of only something happen for one creature. So it's definitely nice with a spell that targets up to 2 creatures. Auras are also a big thing in Theros, and can also help you trigger the heroic mechanic, where we got the ordeal cycle, where in this case for the white is Ordeal of Heliod, that gives you 10 life when you sacrifice it. This enchantment can, when a heroic creature attacks, you put a 1/1 counter on it, and can go up to 3 counters, so it can help you build up the heroic creatures for you. So this is definitely a nice card. If we look at the blue cards, we got another hour that's called Fate Foretold, which costs you 2 mana to cast, and you can enchant creature where when it enters the battlefield, this enchantment, you draw a card, and when the enchanted creature dies, you also draw a card. This is a nice card for you to get some quick cards and some good advantage over the opponent, and also to trigger the heroic ability. The blue version of the Ordeal cycle lets you draw 2 cards when you sacrifice Ordeal of Thassa. Again, it can trigger the heroic ability once, and also build up your creature with heroic to be more stronger. So this is definitely also nice to have in. Triton Tactics is also a really good enabler for the heroic mechanic. It only costs you 1 mana and can give some good defense for 2 heroic creatures you control. The whole tapping thing with this card is also really awesome. If we look at black, Boon of Erebus is an instant that only costs you 1 mana, where you can target a creature to get +2/+0 until end of turn, and when generated, you then lose 2 life. This is also a really nice instant to cast on your heroic creatures when they're about to die. So it's definitely a nice one. Cutthroat Manure is also really nice, since it gives up to 2 target creatures +1/+1 and lifelink until end of turn. Of course, it costs you 4 mana, which can be a bit much, but it's definitely really nice if you have 2 heroic creatures you target with it. The black version of the Ordeal cycle is also really nice, since when you sacrifice it, the target player discard 2 cards. Again, it gives you your heroic creatures some building up in form of counters on it, so it's of course really good. A black hour that also could work really well with the heroic mechanic is Scourge Mark, that costs you 2 mana to cast, where you can enchant a target creature that gets +1/+0. When the Scourge Mark enters the battlefield, to draw a card. It may be a bit boring that it only gets +1/+0, but anything helps in this case, I think. In Theros we got a planeswalker that's called Ashok Nightmare Weaver, which is all about exiling the target opponent's library, and also the graveyards, so you can use them against the opponent for the middle ability, which I really like. So with this planeswalker, I'm actually thinking about making a white, black and blue deck where I use a lot of my opponent's graveyards and hand and library to use against him. In Theros we got a card called Psychic Intrusion, which is a black and blue sorcery spell that costs you 5 mana to cast, where a target opponent reveals his or her hand, you choose an online card from that player's graveyard or hand and exile it. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast it. This together with the planeswalker seems really fun. Again, since you get a main thing with using the opponent's thing to do something special. In Theros we also got a creature that does the same thing as Psychic Intrusion does. That's called Daxos of Meletis, which is a legendary creature. Whenever Daxos of Meletis deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of that player's library. You gain life equal to that card's converted mana cost. Until end of turn you may cast that card, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast it. I really love these 2 cards, and also together with the planeswalker, since I think it could be really fun to begin to use the opponent's stuff against them. I really hope that in the next 2 sets for Theros we see more cards like these, because I think it's really fun. If we look outside Theros, there's also going to be released a Commander deck soon for 2013, where we got a creature that's called Jelliva Nephalia's Scourge, which is a blue, black, and red legendary creature that kind of does the same with the whole exiling thing. So again, it could be really nice for this Planeswalker deck to have these kind of cards that can really mess with the opponent's stuff. Theros is all about the 5 guards of this realm. Sadly, I don't think any of the guards is really interesting other than Purpur's God of the Forge, which is definitely the best one. I really love him, especially because he deals 2 damage to each opponent whenever another creature enters the battlefield under my control. So it could be really fun to have him as a kind of commander card to have him lying on the battlefield and just be an enchantment instead of devote yourself to red. Of course, a 6/5 is really awesome, but I actually think it could be more fun just to have him passive lying around. A card that could go well with Purpur's God of the Forge if you want to build him around the whole 2 damage to each opponent is a Cronin Horse that at the beginning of your upkeep each opponent puts a 1/1 white solar creature token onto the battlefield, which is really nice, and if you play in multiplayer this quickly become really annoying for the opponent. So I definitely think that this artifact creature could be a really good combo with Purpur's God of the Forge. That was my deck ideas for Theros. You can leave me a comment down below and tell me what your deck ideas is for Theros. And until next time, have fun guys.